Okay, this is activity OT91 and it's very similar to OT90. The only difference is that the position versus time information that I'm going to input as a sketch in my model is non-dimensionalized. Notice that if you go back to the previous activity, OT90, and you take all the displacement, vertical displacement, divided by 20, you're going to get the graph that you have up there. And the same thing with the other fellow, if you take all the displacements divided by 20, you're going to get this bottom flow. Notice that the range in the vertical direction is between 0 and 1. In the horizontal direction, it's also between 0 and 1. So I've divided the horizontal axis time by 10 too. But that is not important, okay? So even if I had used 0 to 10 for time on the horizontal axis, the same problem would have worked exactly the same way. The only thing that's important is that vertical scale I've made it from 0 to 1, and later on, of course, I have to specify that scale, otherwise we don't get the correct information. Now, the other thing is that the first few minutes of this tutorial or this activity is the same as OT90 because I'm just going to create the track and the two blocks, okay? So if you want, you can skip it or watch it from the first video. So insert a new part. In there, I'm going to call this thing track, right click properties, track, and track. Okay. And we're going to make it, double click on that. It's basically a long box. So on that horizontal axis, on that vertical plane, I'm going to draw a sketch like this. Okay, I'll make it 2 inches just for the sake of illustration. I'll make this thing 2 inches so that I know what sizes are. Exit, and then pad it by 20 inches. So this is my track. Then I'm going to insert the blue block, so all the way on the top. Insert a new part. I'll call it blue block. Right click properties, blue block. This is the instance name, and then down here, copy. This is the part name. Paste. Good. Let's make it. So double click on that. On that same vertical plane, I will sketch a square which is 0.6 by 0.6 inches. Yeah, the size of these things don't matter, but so I'll make this thing 0.6 by 0.6. Okay, and I'm going to bring it and place it on that top plate. So let me see now. Where's the view? There is the normal view. So for example, I can say this line control that line, and I'm going to make it coincidence so that it brings it down and places it on that plane. Exit and pad it by 0.6. I'll make it a block. Okay, good. And I can change the color here. Right click properties. I'll make it blue. Okay, blue. All right, all the way to the top, insert the green one. Insert a new part. Okay, and I'll call this thing green block. And then copy and paste. Right click, copy. Oops. I think green. Okay. Green. Right click, copy, and put it down there. Okay, very good. We say okay. and we make it exactly the same thing. Of course, there are more efficient ways of doing this thing because they're identical, but I'll do it the long way. So on that vertical plane, I will sketch, same story, dimension it, 6 and 0.6. Oh, not this one. Delete that. This is the one that I want to be 0.6. Okay, and then bring it down. So this point control that point. I'm going to make it coincident like that. Exit, padded by 0.6, and change the color. Okay, I'll change the color of this. Right click properties. I'll change this thing to green. Okay, good. All the way to the top. Now, I mentioned this thing in the other tutorial or in the activity that sure, I haven't saved this thing. Let me go ahead and do the property. So file, save management, save as OT91 right there. Okay. Now, I mentioned that these sketches, these two sketches, you can put them both in a dummy part, or if you want, you can put them in uh, these parts, the blue block and the green block. It's just that it's for me, it's easier to keep track of things if I put these two sketches in a dummy part. So here, insert a new part in there, and I'm going to call this thing right-click properties, and I'm going to call this thing sketch holder. These are exactly the same steps that we did in OT90 folder. It's only the graph that we're going to be doing it differently. Folder or sketch holder. Okay, let's go make it on that vertical plane. This time on purpose, I'm going to do it on this horizontal plane. This is in the other one, I did it on that vertical plane. Sorry, what I meant in that tutorial activity, I did it in the vertical plane, which is ZX. On purpose, I'm going to do it now. Sorry, in that activity, I did it on YZ. Now I'm going to do it on purpose on XZ. On XZ, I will sketch. So I will draw these things, but the units goes, the vertical goes between 0 and 1, and the horizontal, although it's not necessary, I will also make it 0 and 1. Okay, so what do I mean by that? Let's draw a profile like that. Make sure that you start on the axis, horizontal axis. So this one went, is that right? Let's see. One of them, no, actually this should go, I did this, I did that. Okay, so there is there's another piece going from here. Okay. Okay, let's dimension these things. So dimension from here to here horizontally is going to be 1. Now, just be careful, because if you're not if you do a sloppy job here, this is all going to get screwed up, and then you begin to wonder what happened. So let me do it like this instead of doing it like that. This is, let's see, now I'm doing the graph down below. This is the blue one, and that is 0.3. I'll make this thing 0.3. Okay, good. And then from here to here, or from there to there, is 0.5. Okay, so let's, I'm doing this one, sorry. From here to here is 0.2. Okay, so from here horizontal Try it again. From there to there, horizontal, 0.2, 0.2. Okay. And then from here to here is, what is that? That is point 0.4. Okay. So this is 0.4. 0.4. And finally, from there to there, horizontal distance is, for example, 0.1. Okay. So this can be very frustrating if you don't do it. Oh, so this should be, this whole thing should be 1, okay? Which automatically makes this thing 0.1, but the heights have to be fixed too. The height from there to there should be 5, okay? Oh, no, no, not 5. Remember, I non-dimensionalized it. 0.5, 0.5, not 5. 0.5. It was 5 before I non-dimensionalized. Oh, okay, that's good, that's good. And the vertical, zoom in, and this should be 1, okay? Just look. It goes between 0 and 1. This height is this should be 0.25, not 0.5. So let's fix it. This should be 0.25. Okay, and this height from there to there should be 1, which is almost. So what you see there is this bottom graph, except that it has been drawn so that the horizontal axis goes between 0 and 1, the vertical axis also goes between 0 and 1. And this is my blue, blue sketch. Okay, so exit. Okay, notice that on purpose I drew it here. In the other one, I did it in this ZY plane. Okay, so let me change the name of this to be the blue sketch. Right click properties, I'll call it blue sketch. I don't need sketch 1. That's good. All right, I repeat this thing to graph the other guy. Okay, so let's do that. So okay, so on that same plane, which was this plane, I'll sketch. This is a different sketch now. The one that looks like so. I think it goes like this, and then like that, and then like, can't remember what's up. Yeah, okay, good. Like so and like that. Is that right? Mm, no, so this is wrong. Delete this. Let me yeah, that's pretty much it. Now it looks like that. I just have to put the proper dimensions. Okay, so from here, first of all, from here to here, horizontal is 0.2. 0.2. Okay, good. Now this length is 0.3. Okay, so we go here. This is 0.3. 0.3. And then from here to here is 1. Okay, now go look at the vertical scale. So this first portion is 0.25 height, and this is 1. Okay, so let's see. So I just realized something, and I wanted this thing to start, the axis to be this horizontal axis. See that? I wanted to start it down here. Okay, so but I didn't pay attention to that. So, but we can fix it from there. to there, dimension from here to here, you make it 0, so bring it down. I'm going to bring it down, 0. Good. Now, from here to here, vertical axis, vertical distance is 0.25. Okay. And from here to here, vertical is 1. 1. So what I'm telling you is that this graph that you see should be this graph. Okay? Good. Hopefully we didn't make any mistakes. Exit. Well, let me exit and change the name of this thing to green. Properties, we call it green sketch. Green sketch. I don't need the 2 here. I'll just get rid of the 2. Okay, very good. So, go all the way to the top. The only difference between this activity and the one prior to that was that there the units were used, here is non-dimensionalized. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the assembly constraints. So we're going to anchor the base, coincidence between, to create the prismatic joints between this point, this edge and that edge, and coincidence between this plane and that plane. Turn it around. Coincidence between this edge and that edge, and coincidence between this plane and this plane. These are going to become 2 prismatic joints. Okay. The other comment that I made already, but I'll say it again, if you had drawn these 2 sketches in their own blocks, as the block moved, these sketches will move with it, which is not a big deal. It's just that I don't like it. You go all the way to the top, save everything. Now we go to digital markup. Digital markup, EMU kinematics, get the magic wand out right there. New mechanism. Auto create, say okay, there should be 2 prismatic joints. Okay, good. Double click on that, zoom in, and make it length driven. The actual range of this thing is not important, but if it's bothering you, you can make it from 0 to 20 and double click on that. Also length driven, again flip the arrow so it goes in the other direction. Mechanism can be simulated. You already know what that thing means. Because we force this thing to be degree of freedom equal to 0, there are 2 sliding bars here. This will move the blue one. Okay. And this will move the green one. I reset everything. Now, so because we made this thing length driven, immediately you get these 2 commands. Here is what you do. Okay. So you double click on this. This first one is the blue one. You double click on that. Notice that it says link it to the sketch. So you click on it and you go, this was the blue one. You select it, okay? And then notice that, incidentally, this reset to 0 means that the position that we have is the 0 location, which is exactly what we want. And notice that the time is 10. Maximum time value is 10. Remember, here we put down 0 to 1. This 10 means that it goes to 10. Very good. And as soon as we did that, a law was created here. This was not here. Remember, this was the dummy part, sketch holder. As soon as we did that, this law was created. We're going to come to that in a minute. And we do exactly the same thing for the other one. We go to the other command, link to the other curve. The other curve is that green one or the one from the tree. You can select green. And again, time is 0 to 10. These 2 were created. Now, if these names bother you, you can right-click properties. And instead of that, you can say blue. Remember the first one was blue? That one doesn't do anything there. If you want, you can keep it. If you don't like it, take it out, take it away. I'll take it away. Okay, and this one I want to call it the green properties. I'm going to call this thing green. I'll take the 2 away. I don't like it. You say okay. Now, if you look at the blue one, double click on it, it says the scale is 1. No, the scale should be 20. The vertical distance we divided by 20, so we have to adjust the scale of 20. And the same thing with the other one. The green one, also the scale is 1, should be 20. All right. Now, don't worry about this heterogeneous law, etc. Don't worry about this thing. All that thing does, you see, all this guy does is as you make x bigger, it shows you where you are on this curve. This is the green one, look. You see? As you move x, it shows you the value of y. This is really not anything useful. Okay, good. Say we okay. And we go to the assembly. We go to the assembly. We go simulation with laws. Activate sensor. These are the only two things that I want to check. This guy, yes, and that guy. These are the commands. And when I graph these things later on, I better get these values with the proper scale, which means height of 20. And of course, the horizontal distance is going to be 10. Let's check. Okay. So we play and move this thing on the side. It's going to be the same motion that you saw in LT activity LT90. When we plot it, we should get the proper graph with the correct scale vertically, which is 20 inches up and 10 inches horizontal. Come on, move, move, move. Yeah. Okay, good. And now when we graph it, notice that this is not that scale, but not these graph, but properly scaled. Horizontally goes between 0 and 10, vertically goes between 0 and 20, as it was supposed to be. Okay, that's pretty much it, folks. Good luck.